threats. Our host, the people we have come to this important function. So allow me, Air Vice Marshal Dr. Moyo and your team to introduce to you the people in the groups who have come to your premises today. This week is a very important week. The people we have come to this important function. So allow me, Air Vice Marshal Dr. Moyo and your team to introduce to you the people in the groups who have come to your premises today. This week is a very important week. This week is part of a 1 month long event where the Ministry of ICT is actually sensitizing and creating awareness in the societies in this country so that they are fully informed about the dangers of cyber threats. And to lead us in this particular endeavor this month is our Honorable Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Muswere, who is sitting next to you, Air Vice Marshal. And with him is the Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Putin, who is also sitting next to the Minister. And there are officers from the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services who have come to this event, and also supporting the Honorable Minister, the state-owned enterprises, CEOs, and senior management who are also amongst us today. You will see that the major operators are here supporting this particular event. We also have technical partners whom we work with within the space of cyber security. And these key partners are also amongst us. Some of them will actually present papers here today, and you will actually have a chance, Air Vice Marshal and your team, to interact with them. You also have members from the academia who are also part of the cyber security ecosystem. They are also here. Portras, the regulator of the ICT sector, whose responsibility also includes cyber security, they are also represented here. And the Director General himself is being to speak this morning. So there are others who have also come, perhaps I haven't seen them, but the delegates who have come to this seminar conference, they are aligned in one way, and more importantly, in the cybersecurity space. Those are the people who are here gathered here, Air Vice Marshal. Shall I request you then to come and welcome us, and also welcome everybody to this particular blessed conference.
Honorable Minister of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Dr. Muswere, Deputy Minister of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Deputy Secretary of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Engineer S.N. Muswere, distinguished presenters, distinguished participants, distinguished guests, senior government officials, captains of the cybersecurity community, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. I want to thank the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services for choosing ZNDU as host of the 2021 edition of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month Executive Conference. I've been delighted to see that we have all decided to celebrate this year's edition of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month under the sub-theme Think Before You Click, #self-serving. Consequently, I want to start by congratulating the Ministry of ICT for organizing a conference of this magnitude with the support of other professionals in the cybersecurity industry. This has been done despite the COVID-19-induced restrictive circumstances. This gathering therefore makes this conference a milestone achievement. We are all aware that the COVID-19 virus has not only disrupted livelihoods and business activities, but has also significantly increased the digital footprint and exposure to cyber threats. As more communications networks and traditional roles go online, so do cyber threats. For us to seize the opportunities afforded by digitalization, we must pay attention to the attendant threats against critical national infrastructure, such as electricity generation and distribution grids, telecommunications networks, and online payment platforms, among others, by buttressing national cyber defenses. The government of Zimbabwe takes the cyber threats seriously, and in this regard consults with cyberspace stakeholders, which is partly the thrust of this conference. As an academic institution, the Zimbabwe National Defense University will continue to work with all cyberspace stakeholders in identifying cybersecurity needs from industry and transforming these needs into cybersecurity training programs. Critically, the university aims to develop a cyber defense training package that meets the needs and demands of the cyberspace community, and at the same time building capacity for safeguarding Zimbabwe's critical national infrastructure. Apart from raising the baseline level of cybersecurity awareness in Zimbabwe through this forum, there is also a need for the university to collaborate with the cyberspace stakeholders to enhance the protection of national infrastructure against the highly sophisticated threats through continuous cybersecurity training. Coincidentally, the Zimbabwe National Defense University welcomes the challenge to contribute in combating cyber crimes. As part of its contribution in this fight, the ZNDU has trained a substantial number of software engineering professionals. The university will continue its endeavors in this regard. I therefore wish to take this opportunity, Honorable Minister, to welcome you all to the National Defense University, which is the host of this year's cybersecurity conference. And with your permission, invite all of you to feel at home. I thank you.
Let me start by just giving you a brief overview of what we are doing this week. The Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, led by our Minister, it has actually on its annual programs an event which they call Cyber Security Month. And in the past, before COVID, the Cyber Security Month was October, but this year, as you are fully aware, the COVID pandemic has affected most of the programs which institutions have and in government. So our Cyber Security Month is this year in November. And this Cyber Security Month was launched by the Honorable Minister through a press statement. And in that press statement, he outlined the activities of the Cyber Security Month, where he said the theme is Think Before Click, #safe surfing. It means therefore people are really sensitized on what it is they would want to do on the computer, they must think about it before actually taking action. Cyber threats are on the rise globally and are proving increasingly sophisticated. And we are so happy that we are having this conference at this strategic university where the issues of security are actually paramount. And it is also befitting that this time we will also be discussing about security in cyberspace. So this 30-day event has key objectives. The key objectives include promoting online security and safety, the cultivating a cybersecurity culture amongst internet stakeholders. I think this is very critical. We must have a culture of being sensitive to the hazards that befall us in the event that we actually do illegal operations using our gadgets on the cyberspace. It also looks at unlocking new opportunities for cybersecurity collaboration and information share, access and information exchange on innovative technology to increase cybersecurity efficiency and sustainability. We also have divided the whole month into weeks, and each week has a sub-theme. As we stand here, sub-theme we are actually assuming is safeguarding the national critical infrastructure. We strongly believe and are aware, as you are also aware, that ICT is run on platforms. And these platforms, highways, they involve communications pathways, they involve communicating equipment, data centers, switches, and the like. And therefore, this critical infrastructure must be protected, and we must be aware of the need to have this protected so that it will protect the last mile end user. So this week we are also campaigning very strongly on cybersecurity through this conference. This conference is being viewed by participants who are beyond this room. There are participants in other places, in other regions of the world who are actually following this proceedings this morning. We also have cybersecurity talk shows, and we are very grateful to Potras because Potras do run cybersecurity shows, and it is important that we also do that. And we also have every week bombarding the social media platforms with cybersecurity awareness messages to alert users on what to do and what not to do. In the second week, we will have a sub-theme on emerging technologies where we are saying the ICT space is actually a place where technology does not stand still, but is constantly being developed, innovated, and we are saying these emerging technologies, how do they affect us? How do they impact in terms of security in the society and people who use them? We will also have presentations about those things during this conference. And then in the third week, the sub-theme will be cybersecurity in workplaces. You are fully aware that the government, the president, actually announced and announces the stages in which we are to observe the cyber security, the COVID dictates. And in so much as these announcements and pronouncements from the head of state are made, people now work from home, but we are saying they need to be cyber security conscious. And how is this done are some of the things which we will be discussing during this month. We strongly believe that people work more from home, but their gadgets, they need to be secure. And we are also saying to our operators, they have a very important place to play in the infrastructure as well as on the use of devices by the general public. The last week, which is week 4, we will talk about child online safety. And child online safety is a program which we are partnering with UNICEF, and we strongly believe that this is very key, especially in terms of building a culture of how to handle oneself before the cyberspace. So these are some of the things which will be happening during the Cyber Security Awareness Month. And as I said, all Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, YouTube, they will all be bombarded by cyber security notices as well as messages. We also have broadcasting media, the television, the radios. They will also be talking about cyber security during this month. The public lecture, this conference will be actually followed by a public lecture in Matabeleland, where we will also select a specific theme to try and talk about cybersecurity awareness and threats associated whilst one is working on the cyber platform. And as I said earlier on, we are actually heavily guided by the Honorable Minister of ICT, also Career Services, Dr. Jennifer Muswere, and it is appropriate that I give you a brief about our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister, who actually hails from Manicaland, and he is a Member of Parliament for Makode West constituency. He also graduated from universities with a doctorate in management and business leadership after having obtained a master's degree in business administration. And this particular knowledge he applied extensively in public and private sector industries, particularly in the subsectors of manufacturing, logistics, resource mobilization, and many others. And during that period, he also assumed various managerial, administrative, and leadership positions, and actually made some companies turn around. He also, during that time, was involved in innovations to try and assist companies see things from a different angle, since he also had studied strategic design and management at the universities. Our guest of honor is a member of ZANU-PF and belonging to the youth wing of ZANU-PF, where he is serving with dedication and distinction. He also therefore belongs to the youth, who better else can actually lead than some belonging to the youth in this country. He also developed the Smart Zimbabwe 2030 Master Plan, which he is driving in response to the call by His Excellency the President to transform this country into a digital economy come 2030. And he has actually made achievements driving this particular master plan. And some of you might have heard or read that the Honorable Minister is all over the country, in all provinces, in all districts, setting up platforms to allow the people in those districts and communities access ICT through the establishment of community information centers, and also through the computerization of the schools in support of the e-learning initiatives. Our guest of honor also wants to expand the communications infrastructure in this country. That's why there are base stations that have been commissioned, and there are others which are in the pipeline to be commissioned in various parts of the country, all in an effort to make sure that the coverage of communication reaches everybody from wherever they reside. Our guest of honor, like I said, he also wants to keep improving himself academically, and has also enrolled and will soon graduate with a second PhD in ICT applications and governance issues. And this is very appropriate, as I said earlier on, that ICTs are synonymous with youth, and for him to be also an authority in this particular space is something commendable. So our guest of honor is also presented papers, academic papers in various fora discussing ICTs. He has actually presented papers at ITU level and at other related applications in other fora to discuss technology, its use, its applications and development, particularly in the developing world. Our guest of honor is an avid reader and has a wide horizon in understanding contemporary issues and can engage in any discussion, particularly insofar as issues that affect societies are concerned. He also enjoys a good game of chess, and I would want to request you to invite the Honorable Minister, and as we invite him, I also have to tell you that he is the current chairman of the Pan-African Postal Union after having successfully hosted the Pan-African Union conference, which was attended by delegates from Africa and also beyond Africa. So he is actually the chairman for the next 4 years. So let's put our hands together and invite our guest of honor, Honorable Dr. James. Dr. The Portras Director General, Dr. G.K. Machengeti, Chief Executive Officers from state-owned enterprises and the private sector executives, our esteemed members of the security forces, our partners in the fight to ensure that we've got a safe cyberspace, including Becca TV, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, not forgetting members of the fourth estate. Let me start by thanking you, Vice Chancellor Dr. M.T. Moyo, for the warm welcome, for us as a ministry to come and grace this occasion as we launched the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month in the month of November 2021. Distinguished guests, territorial integrity and sovereignty of any country can no longer be defined by the physical borders that we currently have. The national security of a country can no longer be defined by the amount of artillery that we have, or the amount of aircraft, or the skills that we have within the defense forces.
excluding cybersecurity. ICTs are now the electricity of the 21st century. National security can only now be defined by all the other arms of our security forces, plus cybersecurity, which is of critical importance. Last year when the President, Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, launched the National Development Strategy 1, he identified a digital economy as key, as one of the priorities that is going to turn around the National Development Strategy in order to ensure that we achieve macroeconomic growth as we walk our journey towards Vision 2030. This is a journey as a ministry which we have committed ourselves. A journey that we have committed ourselves to ensure that by the year 2030 we should be having a digital economy. And how have we defined that? We've put in place measures to ensure that we exploit the full potential of ICTs, measures to ensure that there is ubiquitous connectivity across the country, measures to ensure that we connect the unconnected. But as we journey in this digital economy, we should all be aware that cybersecurity is of critical importance. This is why we launched the National Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign for this month with the theme, Think Before You Click. As we wander in this internet economy, as we have all the positive aspects of ICTs, which is going to turn around this economy, we should all be aware that cybersecurity is of paramount importance. The use of ICTs, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, has redefined the way we work. ICTs have redefined the way we live. It is revolutionary and it has changed the way we do banking. The phone and data, the laptop, has ensured that in the majority of cases, we do not even need to go to church. In the majority of cases, we do not even need to travel abroad for meetings, but we can use virtual platforms. It has revolutionized the way we bank. I don't even remember the last time I went to a bank 3 years ago. It has redefined the way we learn. ICTs have redefined the way we work. Because of this COVID-19 pandemic, we've come to realize that most of the employees have had an opportunity to work from home. And this has changed the entire way we conduct business as a government, as private sector, and as ordinary citizens of this country. But as we wander in the utilization and access of ICTs, the more we expose ourselves to cyber attacks. There's been an increase, an exponential growth in terms of cyber attacks across the globe. And the next frontier in terms of the future wars that will be fought, these wars will be fought around viruses, biological viruses. These wars will be fought around cybersecurity. Cybersecurity will define the national security of any country. This is why we've decided to focus, among other things, in the November awareness campaign, to focus on child online security, to focus on cyber security in the workplace, to focus on emerging technologies. All this is in line with our desire to fulfill international obligations. These international obligations in terms of the ITU specify that cybersecurity should be defined by three things: confidentiality, the security of our systems, the integrity of our systems, and the availability of information in terms of data protection. This is why, as a government, we have been working on ensuring that we develop the Cyber and Data Protection Bill. The explicit goal of the Cyber and Data Protection Bill is to ensure that we've got a safe and secure access and utilization of ICTs. This bill sailed through Parliament, the House of Assembly and Senate, and is now waiting for the President's signature so that it becomes an act. This bill will guarantee and secure and ensure that there is safety in the cyberspace in this country. And in order to ensure that we follow the guidelines, we should develop a national cybersecurity strategy. And we've invited members of the academia, the Computer Society of Zimbabwe, members of the Defense Forces, and any other citizen of this country as we develop a national cybersecurity strategy. Part of the ITU guidelines include the fact that there should be cooperation, because cybersecurity is borderless. Part of these guidelines also include the fact that we should establish a national computer incidents response center. And we are working on that framework to ensure that we beat the deadline. Part of these guidelines ensures that we should raise awareness. And this is the reason why we are here today, to underline the importance of awareness as we wander in this cyberspace. Distinguished guests, like I've indicated, cybersecurity and the use of ICTs, this is the next frontier. As we delve in this internet economy, we should also, as a country, innovate. And in terms of the President is stressed this macroeconomic environment. And part of human capital development is seen the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology, including this university, this defense university, focusing on education 5.0. This will ensure that we reduce our import bill. The more we save in the cyberspace, the more we expose ourselves. The more we research, the more we log in all these global international platforms, the more we expose ourselves to cyber attacks. Like I've indicated, cybersecurity has revolutionized politics. It has revolutionized the security of any country across the globe. The Arab Spring is one of the examples that comes to my mind. ICTs will define and determine the security of any country. It will determine the security of national critical infrastructure. It will determine the way Zimbabweans think. It will also determine the way other countries perceive or the way they view Zimbabwe as a country. The more we log in to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the way we also transfer critical national information to other countries. It is also the more we expose the national security of our country to other countries. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, cyber security is the next security frontier that we should invest in. We should invest in applications development. We should invest in national awareness so that we'll be able to mitigate or impede cybersecurity threats in the way we live. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, thank you so much for inviting our ministry. Thank you so much.
Shall we continue with this round of applause as we close the statement? Thank you, our guest of honor. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your advice and also alerting us to certain critical issues with regards to cybersecurity. According to our program, this time we want to take a short official break where photographs will be taken, and we also have tea in the foyer and also in the courtyard. Please, because we are running behind time. Topic on social engineering, which actually criminals exploit human behavior. And I am excited because this particular presentation will be presented by Flight Lieutenant Jane Penn, and he is a cybersecurity lecturer at UZ. And we also must listen attentively to how the cybersecurity affects the human behavior and how the criminals actually prey on the average users of cyberspace and with the view of actually pounding on them. Could Flight Lieutenant please make way to the podium?